Good morning, Eagle Nation. It is finally Friday. Thank you so much for joining us for the first Friday the 13th of the year. I'm Landry Long. Good morning, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. Today is Friday, February 10th. I'm Landry Long. Scooters are coming back to Dallas. Due to the 2020 pandemic, scooters have been banned from the Dallas community over the past 2 years, but the city plans to provide over 500 rental vehicles with 3 new vendors. To counter for the overcrowded issue, the city has created no-ride zones to spread out the distribution of the scooters. Dallas residents and visitors can plan to see these scooters on the sidewalks in the next few weeks. While we're on the subject of performances, the Grammys were filled with them, with over-the-top entertainment and, of course, drama. Stay tuned to hear all of the controversial speeches and awards. This has been a fun activity for all students, including myself. Did y'all have fun today? Yes! Reporting at Cockrell, I'm Landry Long with... Reporting for Eagle Nation News. Yes, you can really tell that she loves and is passionate about her job. But Christina, one thing that I'm passionate about is Prosper Sports. Stay tuned, game time is up next. From breaking news to exciting announcements, the new Universal Studio theme park is making its way right down the road to Frisco. With the booming success of Collin County, Universal announced that they recently bought land located in Prosper's neighboring town. Here they plan to build a family-friendly theme park with immersive experiences that will take you through some of Universal's iconic movies. During a press conference, a rep from Universal said this project will be about a quarter of the size of the other Universal theme parks. Quote, a scale appropriate for our younger family audiences. We do not have an official opening date yet, but this is guaranteed to be one of the newest attractions that Prosper residents can be on the lookout for. With state rankings and new UIL sports, PHS teams are already off to a dominating start. Grace Esquivel is in studio with this week's Game Time. While Prosper High School continues to grow in opportunity and size, the tradition and value remains the same. Kay Spears highlights 2 teachers that have been with PHS for a long stretch of time.
And I'm Parker Reynolds. Welcome back from our snow break.
I wouldn't say snow break, it was more of an ice break for me.
Well, whatever break it was, Landry, it was much needed.
I agree, but the ice and snow, however, did not stop the Dallas Zoo from continuing to making headlines. The Dallas Zoo missing monkey thief has finally been caught, and the court documents reveal that he was planning on doing much more. Fox 4 reported that 24-year-old Davon Irving stole 2 emperor tamarin monkeys from their habitat and took them to an abandoned house in Lancaster. After being arrested this past week, police say that he admitted that he was also the person who let out the clouded leopard of its enclosure last month. His explanation for all of this monkey business is that he just loves animals and that he was planning on continuing to steal them. He has been charged with multiple accounts of animal cruelty for these and 2 felonies for theft. Now, Parker, growing up, I was always a fan of going to the Dallas Zoo, but I know with all of these headlines, some people, including myself, have been a little skeptical of going.
Yeah, understand.
Thanks, Diane. As you can see, I'm standing in front of the newly opened Frontier Parkway Bridge. The bridge opened yesterday and stretches all the way from Prosper High School to Children's Health Stadium. The bridge is going to make transportation much easier for Prosper High School students and Prosper residents as a whole as they make daily commutes. The bridge is open to 2 lanes currently, but in the coming months will be 4 full lanes. For me personally, this is going to make going to school a lot easier, and I think that they timed this perfectly with the first Prosper Eagle home game coming up. I mean, it's looking good for the Eagles. Personally, I'm so excited for the game and to see if the boys show up and if the crowd does too.
And I hope everyone...
Parker, I had the privilege to sit down with Tommy and his family and just to hear firsthand all that they went through and his journey. The one thing that really stuck with me was the importance of giving blood. Tommy said that he had over 20 people during his time in treatment give him blood, and it was crucial for the success of his treatment.
Yeah.
Yes, and speaking of new developments, there's a new coffee shop in Prosper that has 3 goals: connect, create, and consume. Parker Reynolds takes a look inside 1418 Coffee and what makes this new downtown shop so unique. While those of us in Texas are all looking in the sky to see any sign of rain, a man in Maine looked up to see something quite unusual. Christina, I know I love the gin. Whenever I moved to Prosper, we really only had the Cotton Gin Cafe, and now to think we're getting a theme park right down the road is crazy. The PHS Homecoming Parade is one of the many ways PISD likes to highlight the amazing clubs, sports, and extracurriculars, and of course, the staff at PHS. Prosper really values the safety of the community. It's super awesome to see, them throwing out candy, loving their community, as well as protecting it. Yes, speaking of success, Prosper Volleyball is making their way through playoffs. Stay tuned as we make our way to game time. The Grammys have taken their rightful place at the top of the entertainment headlines, with talk show ends and musical beginnings following close behind. Madeline Wentz is in studio with all of the pop culture news you need to know in this week's edition of Talent Talk. Madeline?
Thanks, Lynn.
Ranging from breakfast to dessert, Prosper Pantry is dedicated to taking the weight of preparing meals off of customers' back. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Landry Long. HEB actually plans to open a supermarket on Dallas Parkway in Frontier and Prosper. Parker, I really didn't understand the hype around the supermarket until now, and I'm super excited to check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Madeline. For many Prosper residents, making homemade meals is not an option due to the craziness of everyday life. But located in the heart of Prosper, Prosper Pantry is dedicated to making family dinner time easier, having homemade recipes that members of the community can pick up here at any time.
Make it.
It definitely got me in the holiday spirit, and speaking of the holidays, make sure not to miss next week's episode of ENN for a very special festive show.
Yeah.
The Lady Eagles are 11-0-3 so far this season, making them first in district and third in the state.
Yeah, and I also saw that they were one of the top 20 teams in the country, which is just awesome. And Landry, we have a sports-filled weekend this week with more Prosper Sports and the Super Bowl.
And the Mavs game tonight.
Which I will definitely be tuning into. And that's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. Once again, I'm Parker Reynolds.
And I'm Landry Long. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day, and go Eagles!